Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm still at Germantown MetroPark along the Orange Yellow Floodplain Trail. I just got done making a video of Twin Creek, so continuing on with the journey. You definitely get into the hardest section of this entire park to hike. Once you come out of the floodplain, you begin a series of, I don't know, anywhere from probably 7 to 12 hills until you get to the dam they get pretty steep on you. You got one hill a big steps hill that is a monster in itself, and then you begin a series of, climbs, where you're going up and down. They're the type that they're short, but they're steep. It makes it hard to get into a rhythm when you're on it, but absolute beautiful views of the woodlands. Beautiful how the trees are, how much further you can see, when all the leaf cover is down from the trees. And I'm on the floodplain trail, which it's in a month or two, or in the springtime, will probably be underwater, because after a big snow melt or a big rainfall following a snow melt or spring rains, this thing is often under water. But it's turned out to be pretty good right now because it's passable. But beautiful area and beautiful park. And this is also called the Old Forest, which is Montgomery County's oldest section of old growth forest. It might be one of the oldest ones, period. It's probably one of the oldest, period, in the state, because this land was not forested or cleared for farmland. It's this park, although you do got a lot of farmland around the park here in Germantown. But this was not touched, thankfully, and you just have some absolute behemoth trees here. Lots of sycamores and cottonwoods. You see how gigantic the trees are through here in this park, especially here in the floodplain. You don't see these type of trees anywhere else in the Miami Valley that I know of, or that I've been to. And it's really, quite spectacular. These trees are. You can always tell the sycamores by that ghostly white bark on them. So thankfully, this area was not touched when it was settled in the early 1800s. I mean, a lot of the land was around here, of course, but thankfully they left us alone. The Twin Creek is one of the tributaries of the Great Miami River, where it ends or begins its flow down in Franklin, where the Twin Creek meets the Great Miami River. The other side of the park, there's trails on the other side, but they're higher up on that side. But yeah, to see this trail, this drive through here, we haven't really had a whole lot of rain over the since the beginning of August, after we had a really wet June and July, we really have not had a whole lot of rain per se. So, yeah, I'm almost surprised that I have not seen any hikers on the trail. But I know on the weekend, you know, this place will be packed, you know, with, you know, if this was the Saturday or Sunday, this place would be bustling with hikers right now, but it's on a weekday, so not as many people come. Beautiful view of the Twin Creek right down there. I'm not going to stop for another video of the Twin Creek. I'm going to keep this one going. I got a couple already, and I got one further downstream here in the floodplain. Yeah, but the tread here, it's pretty firm, and you aren't going to find that very often in this floodplain. Here, not long from now, we'll be making a left-hand turn to climb out of the floodplain, because I know that trail goes right up that way. Look at the size of this behemoth tree right here. Wow. I was talking about giants of the floodplain. Look at the size of this tree. You just don't see this around. Look how the sycamore splits right there. Another big behemoth too. Another one there too. It's beautiful. Yeah, look at the size of that tree up close, man. Size of that tree. Just phenomenal. Look how that one right there, 4 different trunks it has on it. That big sycamore. I wish I was able to live stream this hike, but I'm not able to do that right now. Because if I was able to, I would be live streaming this hike from here. Look at that ghostly bark on that sycamore right here. Or cottonwood, I'm pretty sure it's sycamore. I'm not very good with tree identification, but our park system they do have various hikes available to help those who are not very good with their tree identification skills. I can identify a few, but I'm no expert at it. I've never really put much thought into it. You could tell that area right there gets mucked up, but there's an area that you can walk around it. Yeah, going around the left-hand corner, we'll be going out of the floodplain. Then the Orange Trail will be separate for about 15 minutes till it meets up with the Silver Trail. Yep, we begin this little upward or little uphill section, and then so that was the floodplain. The yellow orange floodplain at Germantown MetroPark. Sun's coming out some. It feels pretty good outside. It feels great out here. I got about 3 minutes left on this video, then I'm going to end this one. Once I get to the top of this, because I'm exiting the floodplain momentarily. Yeah, you got to climb the hill to get out of the floodplain, because you had to go down one just to get in it. So it only makes sense that you got to climb to get out of it. And I believe I'm not far from the end of this. Not from the end of my hike, but the end of the Orange Yellow Trail before it branches off. Yep, there it is, trail junction, and I'm gonna end it right there. Note the lack of backpacker icon on this. That's because this is not part of the Twin Valley Trail. It is, but it's not, because the yellow over there is where it joins up with it, and then it begins right there again at junction 9. That's it for